Hello and welcome to the Spokane Technical 2-year or 4-year college fair. We are so excited to have you participating in this event. We have some fantastic schools here with us today. My name is Kelsey and I will be your facilitator tonight. Before we get started, let's go over a few housekeeping items. Your camera and microphone are off so the panelists cannot see or hear you, but you can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. This is just one of the many different sessions happening, so be sure to check out the schedule on our website for tomorrow. This presentation is being recorded and will be available at strivescan.com/Spokane. And thank you all for being here tonight. And now I'd like to turn it over to our first presenter, Great Northern University.
Hi there, my name is Allie, and let me go ahead and share my screen here. Okay, awesome, it worked. My name is Allie, and I'm the admissions counselor here at Great Northern University. So, oh, I forgot to click it. Oh no. Okay, who are we? We are a Christian liberal arts university located in Spokane, Washington. We're about a 15-minute walk to downtown. We're in something that's called the University District. So you are living in homes that are surrounded by other college students. So you can make friends. It's a very active social life. And then we're also surrounded by businesses looking to hire students. So most of our students do find jobs, whether it's a barista or working in the food industry, about 5 to 10 minutes from campus. So it's a really great kind of like a central area that we're in. Our vision statement is that we educate students to engage and transform the world for Jesus Christ. Oops. So what we offer is an education that develops and enhances all of our students' soft skills. We offer practical career experience and guided career preparation, and then we provide teaching from a biblical worldview to build a gospel-centered foundation for our students. So when I say develop and enhance your soft skills, I'm talking about skills that are job transferable. So this is essentially what a degree from a liberal arts school will get you. So as opposed to a technical degree, which for like 4 years, you're kind of learning a specific skill and becoming an expert at it, such as coding or computer science. A liberal arts degree will round you out and round out all like a multitude of your skills. So your soft skills are the ones that are job transferable, or as I like to say, your skills that your employer does not want to teach you. So they don't want to have to teach you how to read, write, speak, and present well. They don't want to have to tell you how to solve problems. They want you to be a critical thinker, work well with your coworkers, and then also every now and then have some leadership skills. And basically a liberal arts education and what we aim to do at Great Northern University is that we want to grow you into a well-rounded individual. We have 8 4-year programs that are listed here, and regardless of what you take, your curriculum is going to look something like about 1 year's worth of credits of general ed with an emphasis in communication, 1 year's worth of Bible classes, 1 year in major, and 1 year in open electives. So it's a very flexible curriculum, very transfer student friendly. When I talk about practical experience and guided career preparation, we do require all of our students to do field education, which is 30 hours a semester. So if you want to break it up, about 2 hours a week of doing something outside of class and in your field. So for example, if you're interested in education, we will work with your academic advisor to make sure that you are in a classroom observing a teacher and kind of shadowing them so that you can experience classroom management, kind of what goes on in a classroom and how you can effectively teach. We have a 6-to-1 student to faculty ratio, so you do have small class sizes and close relationships with faculty, and you kind of develop a mentor-mentee relationship. All in all, you will make mistakes, but we're here to make sure that you make the mistakes while we can still help you, and we will walk alongside you during that time. When I say deepen your faith, I'm saying that all of our students are required to take, regardless of your major, you are taking Old Testament, New Testament survey, hermeneutics, which is the Bible in context, Bible introduction, which is how the Bible came to be, and then systematic theology 1 and 2. All of our professors are experts in their field. All of our full-time faculty have their PhDs, but also they are very seasoned in serving the community like Jesus. So not only are they very well versed in what they teach, but also they are very well versed in like being a Christian in the workforce. So go ahead, ask them the hard questions. They're not afraid of those questions because they will share with you their experiences and what it's like to keep your faith in certain situations. So if you're looking for a college experience that helps you grow into a well-rounded individual prepared to succeed in the workplace, a college experience that gives you practical experience without having to have everything figured out, and then deepens your faith in and your relationship with Jesus Christ so that you can genuinely serve others with truth and love, then I would invite you to apply today. We have a free application. We are waiving SAT, ACT scores. You get a personal interview with a faculty member, and you receive a decision within 2 weeks of applying. So we have a really quick turnaround time so that you can plan for your future accordingly. So this is our website. If you liked anything I said, feel free to visit us at www.greatnorthernu.org. Join my Zoom meeting after the session. The passcode is GNU 2020, and my information is at the bottom. So feel free to contact me at admissions@greatnorthernu.org. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. We will be moving right along to the University of Alaska Fairbanks. So whenever you are ready, take it away.
Sounds good. Thank you very much. So my name is Palmer Muntz, and I'm a regional admissions counselor for University of Alaska Fairbanks. I'm based in Washington State to better serve students down here. And I feel like what I'm doing today is just inviting you all to consider going on an adventure, doing something really different, something that you won't get to see or do with any other school, and just come to the University of Alaska Fairbanks. UAF is the flagship university for the state of Alaska, and we are a national research university. But having said that, we're quite a bit different from many schools that have those labels, starting with the fact that we only have about 8,000 students. So we're a lot smaller than most schools with those labels. Our student to faculty ratio is 10-1. 2/3 of your classes at UAF will have less than 20 students in them. So you'll have access to world-class resources, top-notch faculty, but in a pretty intimate student-centered environment. UAF offers over 100 different areas of study. Some of the ones here are just a sampling. One of the things that's very unusual about UAF as well is that we actually have a community college embedded within the university. And so because of that, we actually offer degrees ranging from a 1-year certificate in welding or a 2-year degree in culinary arts, all the way through a PhD in space physics. I thought I would just share a few of our programs that I've found a lot of students from Washington are interested in, just as examples of what UAF has to offer you. First of all, I'd like to highlight engineering. As you can see here, we offer a variety of different specialties within engineering. And our program is direct entry, meaning that you'll actually get to be an engineering major as a freshman. You don't have to complete prerequisites and then apply to get into it. You'll get to take your first engineering classes, do your first engineering design work in your first year. I also like to show this picture of the ELIF building. And yes, that's the worst name for a building ever. But this is the state-of-the-art building where our College of Engineering and Mines is housed. Natural sciences brings a lot of students to UAF as well. And of course, that's pre-med, chemistry, biology, physics, but often it's things like wildlife biology, geosciences, ocean sciences and fisheries, mainly because it's Alaska. So you're in the middle of a 600,000 square mile living learning laboratory where opportunities to get involved with research and internships and so on are just, they're phenomenal. Okay. And then I mentioned before that we actually have what we call the Community and Technical College within UAF. So here's one example of a program that would be housed there. We have one of the best fire science programs in the country. As a fire science student, you actually get to live and work in a fire department. You provide the fire protection for the Metro Fairbanks area, and you actually get paid or scholarshiped while you're doing that. So you graduate with 2 years of experience or more, and it's a very economical way to go. In terms of admission, our admission process is very stress-free and streamlined. You apply on our website. We are test optional. There's no essay required. You can upload your high school transcripts or college transcripts with your application. And then usually we will have an admission decision for you within 3 weeks. So I always say, we're not the school that's going to screw up your senior year. Financially, we offer the Western Undergraduate Exchange, or WUI, to every student from the state of Washington. So that brings the cost of attendance, tuition, fees, room and board to under $24,000 a year before financial aid. And we do have financial aid. Over 3/4 of our students, in fact, this is an old slide, the stat is better than this, but over 3/4 of our students receive grants or scholarships. And I'll just mention in passing here the Nanook Pledge, which is our academic scholarship. And it's automatically awarded upon admission for students who are getting WUI. That can be anywhere up to $5,000 a year. Then we also have need-based grants and competitive scholarships. I would just, again, say, hey, come on an adventure. If you're up for doing something different, you want to stand out, come to UAF and do an adventure with us. Again, my name is Palmer Muntz. Here's my contact information, and I'd love to chat with you afterwards. You can just go to tinyurl.com/UAF Zoom. Love to chat with you. Thanks.
Awesome. Thank you, Palmer. We are going to be moving right along just as we were before, and now we will have DigiPen Institute of Technology. So Michelle, whenever you're ready, take it away.
Awesome, thank you. My name is Michelle Cooper. I'm the Assistant Director of Outreach at DigiPen Institute of Technology. I'm going to go ahead and pull up my PowerPoint. So DigiPen is a private four-year college. We are focused on areas of computer science, music, art, and game design. You can see our campus there and some of our students. DigiPen is located in Redmond, Washington, which is on the east side of Seattle, so the opposite side of Lake Washington. So our students can get down into Seattle pretty often and easily. We are close to the Space Needle, Pike Place Market. You can get to Mount Rainier and other places pretty easily from campus. So students have lots of options. A lot of our students will get into Seattle for PAX. We're gearing up for Emerald City Comic-Con in December. So we're close to some big game conventions and things that our students enjoy spending time at. Redmond really is the game development hub of the country. So if you're looking to get into game development, Redmond is really where the jobs are. Within 25 miles of campus, there's about 350 game-related studios and about 100 tech companies. So what you see on the screen is a really small selection of companies that are near campus. They do come to campus for company days. Epic Games was on campus today to meet with our students. We have an internship fair, a career fair. At our career fair, our students get to host the booth. And so employers get to walk around and experience what our students have accomplished during their time at DigiPen. A little bit of us by the numbers. We have just under 1,200 students, so a pretty small campus. Your average class size is about 18. Our faculty to student ratio is 10:1. And in terms of our alumni, they have been hired by over 600 companies and shipped over 1,600 professional game titles. So if you played a video game during quarantine, more than likely a DigiPen alum has worked on it. And so we're really proud of what they have done. DigiPen was the first college to ever offer a game development program, and we have been ranked as one of the top 5 game design programs in the country for the last 12 years. And we continue to improve and make sure our students have the curriculum needed for the industry right now. We are ranked #1 in Washington State for return on investment by the Georgetown study. And so they have found that the time and money our students put into their education at DigiPen really pays off in the long term. So when they looked at our alum years after graduation, they really were seeing the return on investment in terms of salary. And so we're proud of that ranking for Washington State. In terms of our degree programs, DigiPen has 8 undergraduate programs and 2 master's programs. They are broken down into 4 areas of study. We have 5 Bachelor's of Science and Computer Science programs, the first of which does not have a specialization. It's the straight Bachelor of Science and Computer Science. Those students get to focus really on computer science in general. They will learn C, C++, C#, just like our other computer science students, but they can work on a data systems project or a networking project. Our newest program is the machine learning program. It's predictive algorithms, so self-driving cars, when Netflix suggests new shows for you to watch, that's all predictive learning. Our computers learning our habits, and these students get to learn how to create those programs moving forward. Our Bachelor of Art in Game Design is one of 2 game design programs that we have. At DigiPen, game design is the user experience. So how is the user interacting with the game that you created? Do the rules make sense? Does the story make sense? So they will take level design classes, storyboarding, psychology, humanities, while also taking some computer science classes. The partner in that is the Bachelor of Science in Computer Science and Game Design. So just the opposite, mostly computer science classes while taking some game design classes. So they know enough about each other's work to work well together because they understand each other's language. Our flagship degree, which is the real-time interactive simulation degree, we just say RTIS on campus. It's a graphics programming degree. Students are learning how to program a game engine. So if you've ever used Unity or Unreal, then you have worked with something that our students are creating from scratch. So they can really walk into any studio and work with any engine because they've created one for themselves. Our last Bachelor of Science in Computer Science program is the digital audio program. Similar to RTIS, and students are creating a sound engine. So they're the ones making sure your sound is correct in a game. So if a car goes into a tunnel, you should expect an echo. These students are programming that to happen. Our largest program is the Bachelor of Fine Arts in Digital Art and Animation. These students take a lot of foundational art classes in their first year and then jump into that digital art the second year. And then lastly, our Bachelor of Arts in Music and Sound Design, pretty traditional music degree. You have a tutor in your instrument of choice, or if you're a singer, you take music composition classes while also learning sound design. So you're recreating the sound of a tree falling in a studio. DigiPen teaches pretty traditionally in terms of classroom work. You're in lecture classes, you take tests, all those things that you would expect at any other place. The cool thing is that you then get to put everything into practice. So in your first year, you'll work on a project with your own within your own degree program. In your second year, students then work together on interdisciplinary teams. So students will usually graduate with 3 to 4 professional quality projects, and you can work on a video game or an animation. Teams vary in size, but you can jump around and be on multiple teams. So you get to work on a lot of different projects that interest you and try out different things. You can see our application requirements here. Application test optional. At DigiPen, you do apply specifically to one degree program. So you can see here, each program does have different admissions requirements. So you can check our website for that. And I'm happy to chat in the room after. And our deadline is February 1st. Lots of ways to connect with us virtually online. And come to campus for tours, and our contact information is right there. So thanks for joining, and hope to chat with you later.
Awesome. Thank you, Michelle. Next up, we have University of Washington. So whenever you're ready.
Perfect. Hey, everyone. My name is Ben Siegel. I'm the admissions counselor at the University of Washington for the Spokane area. So excited to be with you all tonight. I'm just going to go through some quick information, and again, more than happy to chat with you all in our breakout session afterwards. First, just want to talk about where we are located. University of Washington is located in Seattle, Washington. As you may be able to see from that image in the top left, Space Needle downtown skyline, maybe about 10-15-minute light rail ride away from downtown Seattle. At the same time, though, as you can see from the image on the right, lots of green space on campus. We are right on the shores of Lake Washington. So kind of that nice balance of being in Seattle, close by the city, but not right in the middle of downtown in that urban environment. So I think a lot of students enjoy that location from a standpoint of recreation opportunities, as well as just being able to connect with the city of Seattle from an internship standpoint, which I'll touch on in a little bit. At UW, we have over 180 different majors, so incredible variety in there and very interdisciplinary education here. So a lot of students will double major, have a major or a minor. Outside of class, though, plenty of research and internship opportunities. UW receives more federal funding for research than any other public institution in the US. So if you're interested in doing research, UW is an outstanding place to do so. Just a few quick stats on student life here. I think I'll know we have about 1,000 different student clubs. So we are a large university, but so many different ways to build those smaller communities. That could be through clubs, could be through housing on campus. As noted in the bottom left there, about 80% of our freshmen do choose to live on campus in our residence halls. We also have fraternities and sororities for those of you who are interested in Greek life. Last but not least, just some stats regarding outcomes. Within 6 months after graduation, 81% of our students are employed or pursuing graduate school. And just speaking speaking of some of those employers, again, one of the big benefits of being in the Seattle area is just proximity to so many employers across all sorts of different career fields and disciplines. You have the big ones like Amazon, Microsoft, for example, but Seattle truly is home to a little bit of everything, be it nonprofits, startups, those big companies, and just under 70% of our students do graduate with internship experience. So lots of valuable inside the classroom learning experiences, but just as importantly, being able to make those professional connections, have something to add to your resume so that after graduation, you have a little bit better sense of what you want to pursue. All right, I want to go through our application process and checklist really quickly here. First, the one and only way to apply to the UW is through the Coalition application. This is a shared application platform with about 150 different colleges and universities across the country. And again, the one and only way to apply to the UW. You have the profile section and the UW questions section. You need to fill out both of those in order to apply to the UW. And again, they're all on the Coalition. We have an $80 application fee, but that can be waived. Say you qualify for free and reduced lunch, SAT, ACT fee waiver. You can check that box on the fee waiver section of the application, and that app fee will be waived. A few things we do not look at. We do not look at letters of recommendation, so no need to send them. We do not ask for transcripts, so no need to send those for us. You will be self-reporting all of your coursework and grades on the application. That's how we're going to understand your academics. And last but not least, we are test optional at the UW, so no need to send us those test scores. All right, in terms of how we actually look at the applications themselves, we do a holistic review process, which essentially means we want to look at you as a whole person. Academic preparation and performance will lead the way as part of our holistic review process. But again, you're going to have a few essays that are really going to allow you an opportunity to communicate different aspects about yourself, be it, say, your extracurricular involvement, family background, just who you are as a person. And then just digging in really quickly to that academic side of things. I'm going to toss up some stats here. So you can see on the right side there that 3.73 to a 3.96 is our middle 50 percentile for admitted students at the UW. We look well beyond a student's unweighted GPA, looking at things like grade trend, rigor of curriculum when reviewing a student's application. So hopefully that provides a little bit of guidance. And then one other last thing I'll mention, as you can see on the left side there, our 3-year average admit rates for Washington residents was 60% or is 60%. So we do give preference to Washington residents on our admissions process as we are a public university in the state here. Quick timeline here, our one and only application deadline is November 15th, so no early action, no early decision. Be sure to apply by November 15th in order to be considered for admission. Also on a financial aid timeline, be sure to fill out your FAFSA or WASFA by January 15th in order to be considered for priority financial aid. But again, big deadline there for the application itself, November 15th. Quick cost of attendance as well. As you can see on the left side, Washington resident tuition is about $12,000 for one full academic year. When estimating other costs of attendance as well, like housing and food, personal expenses and whatnot, comes out to $30,000 for one full academic year. Again, that is just an estimate, will vary a little bit student by student, and that is all prior to any financial aid. So again, be sure to fill out that FAFSA or WASFA in order to be considered for need-based financial aid. At the UW, we do have a handful of scholarships that students are automatically considered for. Husky Promise, for example, just by applying to the UW and filling out the FAFSA or WASFA, you're automatically considered for the Husky Promise. And essentially, if you are a Washington resident and you qualify for, say, the Pell Grant and some other kind of more nitty-gritty financial aid criteria and eligibility there, but if you qualify, at the very minimum, we'll ensure that your tuition is covered at the University of Washington. Another one, presidential scholarship in the middle there. This one, we're looking at community involvement and extracurricular involvement, $10,000 a year, renewable for up to 4 years. For reference, this last year, we awarded 5 of those presidential scholarships. So just a few pieces on the financial aid side there. That's my very, very quick little overview of the University of Washington. Again, happy to answer your questions in the Q&A. I'll jump to those as soon as I'm done with the call here. And then at the end of our Zoom call, I will drop a link in the chat for my Zoom meeting. I'm more than happy to talk through any questions y'all have at that point. That is all I have today. You have my email on the screen here, bsiegel8@uw.edu. Again, I'm the UW admissions counselor for the Spokane area, and thanks so much for being here tonight.
Awesome. Thank you, Ben. And next up, we have Whitworth University.
Thank you, Kelsey. My name is Jason Tobeck. I am one of the admissions counselors at Whitworth. We're located in Spokane, Washington, on the north side of Spokane in eastern Washington. Whitworth's mission is to provide for its diverse student body an education of mind and heart, equipping our graduates to honor God, follow Christ, and serve humanity. We do this in a community of about 2,300 students. Student-faculty ratio is 11 to 1. and you'll find our classes are mostly less than 30 students, regardless of the discipline. We're successful with getting students out of college on time. It's important to us to keep you on track to be done in 4 years. 84% of our last graduating class was done in 4 years. And when they graduate from Whitworth, you'll find that they're either gainfully employed or in a master's level graduate program at 95% shortly after graduation. The kinds of students that are looking at or attending Whitworth, these are some numbers from our current freshman class. You're looking at a middle 50% of about a 3.5 GPA to a 4-point GPA, and that's a weighted GPA. 25% of our incoming students are above a 4-point and 25 are below the 3.5 range. We'll take any honors, AP, or international baccalaureate courses. Those are going to be valued at 4.5. If you're from a state that is not calculating that on your transcript, Whitworth will calculate that in-house. We'll use the weighted GPA for both admissibility purposes, but also for our scholarshiping processes. We do accept SAT and ACT scores. We'll super score those, though they're optional, and I'll talk more about that. Whitworth's been an optional test score school for many years. We have many academic options to offer. There's a little over 100 different majors, minors, areas of concentration. Some of the most popular areas currently are biology, health science, education, English, computer science, nursing, among other things. We're committed to excellence at Whitworth throughout the college. One of the areas you'll see this commitment is in the athletic department. We're affiliated with the Division III NCAA. We've carried 21 varsity sports. And for the last 12 years, we've been by far the most successful athletic department in our 9-team conference. Excellence also is reflected in the arts at Whitworth. Our art building is a relatively new structure. You'll also find our music facility is outstanding. We just put $11 million into an expansion of our music building a couple years ago. 2 years ago, we added a backstage or remodeled the backstage of our theater department as well. So we do commit financial aid, additional scholarships in the music and theater area as well. How to open the door at Whitworth. If you're interested, we have a free application. There's no cost to apply. We'll accept our Whitworth application, or we do accept the common application as well. We only need your application and your high school transcripts. That will complete your file. We do review applications on a rolling basis. So as soon as you send us those 2 items, I'll be able to review and make a decision fairly early in your senior year. Writing samples, test scores, academic letters of recommendation are appreciated when you have them, though they're not required for review of your file. Important dates to consider. The November 15th date is our early action 1 deadline. We'd like to see applications come in by that date. If you miss the November 15th date, feel free to submit by January 15th, or the last date is March 1st. We also have FAFSA is open and available, so please submit your FAFSA and indicate Whitworth if you're interested in receiving a maximum amount of financial aid from us. May 1st is the national deadline for confirmation for all colleges. So at any point after you're admitted at Whitworth, you're welcome to submit one of our 350 confirmation deposits to secure your spot in the freshman class, but be sure you do that by May 1st. Additionally, all of our incoming students are receiving aid in some capacity. Last year's incoming class, the average student received just under $36,000 in grants and scholarships, which means that Whitworth's financial aid office does a great job to try to make Whitworth accessible for all different students, regardless of kind of your background, upbringing, your financial resources. These are some of the areas that we're able to help students financially. Our university scholarship ranges from $12,000 to $27,000. That's essentially our academic scholarship. Students will receive that, then keep that for all 4 years. When living on campus, you'll also receive a $3,000 for each year you live on campus. Visiting campus is very important. We also encourage students to do so. In their senior year, they'll receive a one-time $1,000 scholarship when they visit campus with one of our qualifying events. Talent scholarships are offered in art, debate, music, theater, young life, among other things. These are areas you'll do an audition for. We also partner with the College Bound Scholarship. If you're a student eligible for College Bound and have a 3.25 GPA, you will receive the Whitworth Bound Promise that ensures your entire tuition is covered in full. This is some information how to connect with me. My number's on the bottom. Email address is listed there. I'd love to talk with you in my Zoom room following the 6x6 if you have further questions. Thanks, Kelsey.
Thank you, Jason. And then last up, we have Pace University.
Thank you so much. Hi, everybody. My name is Megan, and I am the Associate Director of Admissions on PACE's New York City campus. So if you have not heard of PACE before, we are a private university located in New York with 2 different campuses that I will touch on a little bit later. At Pace University, we want to make sure that our students are taking advantage of everything that the college process has to offer and that New York has to offer. So we developed something for our students called the PACE Path. So the PACE Path takes everything that you are learning in the classroom and just applies it to the real world. So with that, we are really making sure that our students are getting involved with internships, getting involved with mentors in their field. Maybe they're studying abroad. Maybe they're going to a conference. Maybe they're volunteering. Whatever that may be, each student has a PACE path and it will be unique to you. On the academic side at PACE, we have over 100 different undergraduate programs split between 6 different subschools. So first of all, we have our College of Health Professions, which has a nursing program as well as a health science program. Our Dyson College of Arts and Sciences has everything from psychology to our School of Performing Arts to biology. We do have a law school at the graduate level. So if law school is a goal for you, you are able to do a 3+3 program. Our School of Business, everything business related. So we have accounting, we have management, we have marketing, we have finance. All of that is within our Lubin School. Within the School of Education, we have early childhood and adolescent education. And then our Seidenberg School of Computer Science and Information Systems has computer science, information systems, and information technology. At PACE, with the exception of our nursing program and our performing arts programs, all of the admission requirements for the other programs are the same. So that means if you are undecided when you go to apply, or you change your mind after you're admitted to the university, you have the ability to change your major and you're not locked into one specific area. When you are a PACE student, you have the ability to double major or pick up a minor in a field that isn't necessarily related to your major, and all of that will become a part of your PACE path. Career services is something that we take seriously in getting those students those internship opportunities. And it does pay off for us with 90% of our students either employed or continuing their education within 6 months after graduating. So career services will help you every step of the way. They'll help you with interview prep, resume prep, getting those internships. And with our location in New York City or New York State as well, we have access to huge Fortune 500 companies in really every area that you could want. So breaking down our campuses a little bit. So we do have 2 campuses, one urban and one suburban. And our New York City campus is in Manhattan, right at the foot of the Brooklyn Bridge. So if you're looking to be right in New York City, this is definitely going to be the campus for you. And it's the larger of our 2 campuses student-wise. So we have a little over 5,000 students on the New York City campus. We are definitely a very vertical campus because we are located in the city. And one other thing I want to note about the New York City campus is that we do have 4 different residence halls and housing is guaranteed for all 4 years. Separately, if you are interested in New York and you want the perks of the city, but you don't necessarily want to be in it every day, we do have another campus in Westchester, New York, about 45 minutes north of New York City. This campus is 200 acres and it has a little under 3,000 undergraduate students. There are nature trails on this campus. There's a beautiful pond. There's an environmental center, and there are also 5 different residence halls on this campus as well. And housing is guaranteed for all 4 years up in Westchester as well. There is a shuttle that runs back and forth between the campuses a few times a day. So regardless of which campus you choose, you do have access to the other campus, whether you're traveling for academic reasons or just to go explore the other campus and the area around it. When you go to apply to the university, there are a few things that we will need to review your application. First and foremost, we will need the application itself. There is a PACE application, but we are also a member of the Common application. It doesn't matter which one you submit, we just need one or the other. We'll also need your official high school transcript, 2 letters of recommendation, your essay or personal statement, and then if you would like to submit SATs or ACTs, you can, but we are a test optional university, and we do have a holistic application review process. So it's up to you. You just have to tell us if you're submitting or not, and regardless, we can review you either way. At the university, our average GPA is a 3.3 on a 4.0 scale. This is not a minimum, just the average for admission. Our average SAT is around an 1160, and our average ACT is a 25. Here are a couple of our deadlines. So the first one is not necessarily a deadline, but we always like to tell students to treat it as a deadline and work to submit their FAFSA early in the process. So the FAFSA is open for financial aid consideration, and the priority deadline for that is November 15th. We do have early decision, early action 1, and early action 2 deadlines that are approaching here this fall. If you are considering PACE for our School of Performing Arts, you will need to submit your academic application by December 15th, and that is one of our hardest deadlines. If you do not submit your application by that date, we are unable to consider you for that program. Our regular decision preferred deadline is February 15th, and that is also our nursing deadline. Again, hard deadline there. And May 1 is the date for you to submit your deposit. At PACE, we do offer a lot of aid to our students. The average amount of aid offered to our students each year is around $26,000. And this is the contact information for PACE. So there's our general contact information and my specific information as well, if you would like to get in touch with me. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Megan. I believe now we have a couple minutes before we kind of break out into our sessions. So if our presenters would like to come back on, I will ask you all just a couple questions that I'm sure your attendees are wondering. And while I'm kind of getting those questions pulled up, if you all would post your Zoom links in the chat for our attendees, that way after we answer all these questions and our session is over, they can pop into your breakout session. All right, and we will get started with our first university, going back in the order that we were in our round robin. I believe first up was, who did we have first up?
Me, hi.
Yes, there you are.
University.
So what advice would you give someone going through the college search process?
I would definitely advise you to talk to your mentors or your parents, anyone who has like really observed you for a number of years, and ask them honestly, like, what skills do you think I should be pursuing and bettering myself at, and what colleges should I be considering for that?
So you want me to jump in, Kelsey?
Yep, just jump right in.
Okay, so I think somewhat similar, I would say, just remember that admissions counselors are your friends. We are here to help you. This is something that we enjoy doing, and we typically won't pressure you. We just want to give you information so you can make the best possible decision.
Yeah, the advice I would give is keep an open mind. You just never know what school is going to be right for you, what program, what state. So keeping an open mind to find a place that is just going to feel like a good fit, and you just never know what that will end up being.
Yeah, and I think just jumping off of that, I would highly encourage y'all to try to visit the campuses either in person if possible or virtually. I know in the last year we've provided a lot of different like virtual visit opportunities, be it kind of video tours of campus or whatnot, but I think just trying to engage with that campus best you can so you can make that best choice for yourself is really important.
And I would add to the campus visit idea too, but I'd also say this, some campuses, and I know Whitworth does this, but some campuses can offer some travel grant or some financial assistance to get to their campus. It's just really important to try to see those places before making the decision. So search the websites out for any kind of travel grant or assistance that they can offer. And I'd also encourage you start early on your outside scholarship search, talk to your high school counselors. Start thinking about maybe a weekly target to access 5 new scholarships you're going to submit an application for.
And then just to round it out, I would say ask questions and ask the questions now. You know, if you don't know what the FAFSA is, or you don't know the difference between early decision and early action, ask an admissions counselor, look it up. It's better to find that out now than too late in the process.
Awesome. All right, let's ask a couple more questions. We'll go back in the same order again. What's one thing you want students to remember about your school?
For Great Northern University, I would say the one thing I want students to remember is that this faculty, while you are investing in your education, they are also investing in you, and they want to make sure that your investment is worth it. They will walk through with you, they will be intentional with you, and they will make sure that you are employed after graduation and just thriving.
I think for University of Alaska Fairbanks, I would say this is the only school that you can go to and join the 40 Below Club. The first time each year it gets to 40 below zero, the students go take their picture with the temperature sign on campus in their swimsuits. So you got to do it at least once. It's a very quick picture though.
Yeah, one thing about DigiPen, while we're academically focused, there's lots of opportunities to have a student life and be connected. We like to say we embrace the nerd culture. So our student clubs kind of reflect that. One of our biggest clubs is the Outbreak. And so they play as zombies versus humans Nerf war. Like the Cage Club, they watch a Nicolas Cage movie once a week. And students are always coming up with new ideas. And so it's fun to see how they connect and find common ground.
For the University of Washington, I would just say, thinking about that the city of Seattle truly is your classroom. There are so many learning opportunities outside of campus. So while your foundation of learning is on campus, I think just going to school in Seattle and having those UW connections is something pretty special for us.
I would say at Whitworth, visiting the campus like we spoke of earlier is your best way to know the community on campus. When I talk to our students and I say, what's your favorite thing about Whitworth? It's really the community on campus. If it's the right fit, if it's the best fit for you, you'll find that there's not another place like it that you can get that life-changing kind of experience. So I encourage you to come visit campus.
And at Pace, with our location in New York, we really just have so many opportunities for students, whether again, you want to be in the city or you would like to just be close to New York City. We have the internship opportunities and experiences that will really help to set your education apart.
Awesome. Thank you all so much for that. I do want to go ahead and mention again to go ahead and pop those links in the chat. Make sure everyone can see those links. If you all are in need of those links, please let us know. But other than that, I would like to thank you all for joining us tonight. There is a quick survey after you kind of close out this window to go into your breakout session. It's a 5-question survey. All feedback is important to us, so please feel free to fill that out. There are more sessions tomorrow, so feel free to sign up on our website. And the recording will be available at strivescan.com/Spokane. Thank you all for joining us tonight, and we will see you next time. Enjoy your breakout sessions.